We move forward to Mr. Iωάννης Βρέντζος, the CEO of Alter Ego Media, one of the leading Greek media and entertainment groups. This goes hand in hand, Mr. Vrέντζος. Also, I would like to ask you for your policy proposals and for your experience so far and as a listed company.
First of all, I would like to my best wishes to the association. Congratulations for this event. First of all, I believe that it's very essential for the Greek market and the Greek economy to have more listed companies in our market. We all recognize that there is an issue to be addressed, that at the moment there is a concentration of the market in limited numbers of very big, large corporations. So it's very essential to attract more companies. And because we are in a specific economy, it's not easy to attract. There are not many non-listed, very big companies. So for me, the priority should be on two areas. Firstly, to try to find mid-sized company that through an IPO and participating in the market can become the next large big companies in Greece. And secondly, we believe that there is another opportunity for smaller companies to enter in the market, I believe that Vienna and the growth market that we have can be a very good way to do that for a smaller company in order to build the new success stories. And we believe that the experience that we have until now is relatively positive. For example, we have a company that entered the market, Real Consulting, 3-4 years ago, and now they have been moved to the main market and they have had a very successful way on that. For us, the IPO experience and the post-trading history have been relatively smooth and successful and very good, I can say. We have had a very good cooperation with Hellenic Capital Market Commission and the board and the people of Athens Stock Exchange. So it was a smooth operation. It was a very important milestone for our company. We feel that we have become a better organization, better company through the structure that we implemented. But I don't think that we are a typical case. We had the advantage that because of the ownership profile of the group, we have had an extensive track record in capital markets. So for us, it was not something new. We felt that we had been very well prepared to do that. I don't think that is the case for the majority of the companies at our size. So I'm very glad that I heard from the people of the Athens Stock Exchange and Euronext now that they are ready to educate the new companies. It's very important to understand. I understand the scrutiny and the focus on regulation because of all the crises that happened 1 decade ago and the protection of the retail investors, especially the retail investors. But we need to understand that the companies are the clients of the stock exchanges. Many of us felt during the process that we are not the clients, that we have to be attracted and be helped to become clients. But we were under a process of scrutiny and judged by that. So the programs that you mentioned, I think it will be extremely important. I believe that you need to focus on new companies, how you educate them to understand that this is a process to become better. It's a process that anyway need to undergo at some point if they want to grow, because we really feel in Alter Ego Media that these structures and this regulation help us on the future growth, and we will not believe that we'll be able to cope with this growth if we didn't have this structure in place. And on a second note, I believe that now that we have the experience from Euronext, then we can address a little bit the regulatory issues to be more proportional to the size and the characteristics of its company, because it does not make sense the same rules to be applied for a multi-billion cap corporation and a smaller mid-size that. So I believe this will be the focus if we have to speak about the IPO process and the potential of the market.
You have the last word, Mr. Vrέντζος, and I would like to address two issues that have been addressed today in our discussion panel. First, the issue of liquidity, and second, the issue of Euronext and the strategic role it can play in strengthening the regional and European capital integration.
First of all, I think that a number of issues that I would like to address have been already addressed, and I fully agree that we need, as a stock market, to find a special role in the broader Euronext ecosystem. And I fully agree that to become a gateway of the companies from Southeastern Europe is a great story if we can really make it happen. And secondly, I believe that we cannot ignore that Greece, as everybody said, is the global center of shipping. So we feel that it's the right move to try to take advantage of that. So secondly is the access of liquidity and access to capital. And again, I will repeat that there are pools of capital that are, it seems a little bit untapped, even in the domestic market. We fully expect that as a part of Euronext family, we can find access to international investors on a much more efficient way. But I believe that there are two domestic pool of investors that we need to focus. One is retail investors. The participation of retail is very small. We had an IPO and participated almost 10,000 retail investors, and I believe that it was a record for many years. So they are not enough. This is an issue for our market, but mainly it's an issue for our economy, because without re-educate the people, the retail investors, the household, to invest, and there are not many ways to invest for a normal household. So the more powerful ways through the stock market, the economy will face issues, and the benefits of the success of the economy will not spread across the full economy if you don't do that. We have not been educated to really invest, and that creates an issue. And the future generation will not be able to rely, let's say, on the pension system. So we need to find ways to educate the people how they will properly invest. The second area probably is there is a very important liquidity, and on the private side there are a number of family offices in Greece that they have huge liquidity, mainly because of the success of shipping, but also the business success generally in the market. I believe that we need to find incentives to make them invest also in the Greek stock market. The asset under management, I have a feeling that are much bigger than the institutional investors in Greece. So I think it will be great if, as a part of the broader incentives to create family office structures that are happening, if we can find specific structures and incentives to be more active in the Greek stock exchange market. And then that base can be, a competitive advantage and can become a pool of, not institutional, but professional investors that can be very important not only for Greece, but generally for Euronext strategy.